So I'm here with the grumpy old man
Hey, hey.
and myself, Atomic Annihilation. Woot woot. Here today to show you guys a modded Let's Play or a modded showcase on Fallout 4. So let's get this party started here. So what mods are you looking forward to in the future?
Anything that makes killing better.
Oh yeah? Surprisingly, there are plenty of those mods. I'm surprised you're not into the Slooty mods.
Of course I am. Who
Oh
wouldn't
yeah?
be?
Yeah. Uh, no, it's no longer family friendly.
Yeah, friendly is overrated.
Yeah. It's kind of useless. It's ridiculous. It's not like you get demonetized or anything for
Uh,
not being family friendly.
my favorite mod is literally the exploding collar mod, where I can put the collar on people and blow their heads off.
Wait, that's an actual mod?
Yeah, that's a mod.
I didn't. The only mod I know that had the collar was the abduction mod.
No, you set it up.
Oh, that's right. Wait, was it on Xbox?
No, it was on the computer.
Oh, yeah, that was the abduction mod that had the collar, and if you got really mad, you just detonated the collar.
Exactly.
That's the abduction mod.
Yes, it is. That's a fun one.
You hit them with the baton, and all of a sudden they're your slave. No, but the main mod that's really good in this game was the ENBs. Their graphics overhaul. There's the main one I'm using is Apocalypse, and it's pretty good. It's only like 5 MB, but it does so much. And then you have the enhanced lights and FX, where it's realistic lighting, and it looks really good. Like you wouldn't expect the vanilla game to look that good unless you had enhanced lights and FX. That's like a
That,
main mod you need.
that's amazing that 5 MB can do so much of a difference.
I know. I was so shocked. I was like, really? But yeah. And it's weird too because it's funny that Bethesda wouldn't do that at all whatsoever. But hey, it is what it is.
Well, it probably just took a lot more time to get it to do it, and they were probably just were trying to rush the game out. That's how most of these companies are these days. They're in such a hurry to make their deadlines that they're not trying to do all the little details that the modders do. When you get to your modders, man, they'll spend hours, days, weeks, years on one mod just trying to get something that that they really won't, like better graphics. When Bethesda's only purpose is to make money. So they're just trying to shove it out to get something half-ass working and shove it out the door.
Yeah, I know. That's the one thing I don't like. It's just ridiculous. It like when Fallout came out, the actual game in downtown Boston would tank a 1080 Ti like at 10 frames per second, and it was like mainly the modders with the unofficial patch practically fixed it, and it's sad. It's sad that the modders care more about the games than the actual company. Like,
well, okay, it's like this, okay? It's not just in the gaming community. That's actually something that's been happening in the industry, in computer industry for many years. Look at Bill Gates and some of the first Windows that came out. They were crap. They were shit. Okay, they would crash all the time. Okay, but they got out the door first. That's what their goal was. Get it out there. We'll worry about it later, and we'll fix it in patches. And that's still what they do to this day. They rush to release and fix it later, and that's their philosophy basically. And that's rampant in the entire industry. That's why we have such shit code everywhere out there. Okay, there is so much crap code in video games, in operating systems, in just basic applications, because they're trying to rush it out the door so they can start selling it and make that money. And once the money starts coming in, the problem is that they lose interest in trying to fix the patches like they were planning on in the first place, because they already getting the money's already coming in. And
Wow.
unless it's something that they're wanting to continue on, then your patches don't happen as often unless it's something major.
Yeah. There was like so many bugs in the very beginning of the game too. Like there was one major bug where you would freeze and you would go into the vault, and as soon as you go down the elevator, you get your vault suit, and then as soon as you step into the cryopod, you would be stuck. And it was game breaking. No, as soon as as soon as people found out about all these bugs, like it started to spread into the community how bad the game was, Bethesda had to think really quickly, like, man, we got to fix this, or we're gonna start losing profits. And it's funny how modders actually stepped in with the unofficial patch and kept updating it and updating it and updating it, where but the modders actually do a hell of a lot more than the actual company. Or
That's the and again, that's the case everywhere. Most of these companies, they're looking at dollar signs. They may not be. They may have had the good intentions going into it, but whenever it comes down to it, they're a business. They got investors looking at them and everything else, and at the end, they don't care about the customer. In the end, they don't care, because they're looking for the money. The only time that they're going to care is when it's an issue and it's going to affect their bottom dollar. Okay. If you have a small little glitch that just creates
happens
a
from
small
time to
little,
time.
it just creates a little graphic glitch or something like that, that's a low priority for them. Okay. They're only going to want to work on
The
stuff
game
that's
breaking.
stopping people from buying the game. And as long as people are buying the game,
They don't care.
they don't care. That's exactly it.
And that's
Uh,
kind of sad. That's
and,
really
and,
sad.
and you always get modders that step up and fix it because they love the game so much. Okay, and it really it goes back down to any open source project and Linux and everything else, that you get these companies in here, they throw crap code out, get it out there,
And
and
expect everyone else to fix it for
and
them.
then you get the communities that come in and go, hey, this is crap, let me fix it for you, and they fix it most of the time for free, because they want to use the code themselves, they want to use the mod themselves, and so they fix it on their own, and most of the time they get crapped on.
Yeah, and you know how they came out with the Creation Club, for example. A lot of people at first, the first thing is the Creation Club. This is Creation Club 2.0. The first iteration of the Creation Club, it was a Valve and Bethesda joint project where on the workshop there was a section of paid mods and then free mods. And oh, it was bad. It was so much backlash, and eventually they took it down. And then they
Well,
had to re-upload it, but there was no paid mods. All the mods that were paid were eventually freed. And the funny thing is, the modders back then were at least compensated for their actual hard work. They actually had to keep their assets. Now with Creation Club 2.0, the modders don't get anything. They get a monthly salary under $1,000 and under the dime, while Bethesda is making a profit on their mods. So as soon as the modder uploads their mod and people start paying for the mod, the actual creator or the developer of that mod doesn't get paid at all.
and,
Only
and
Bethesda does.
but the biggest problem on all that though is once the modder uploads his mod and he gets paid for it, he loses all rights to his mod. He no longer owns that mod anymore. If
No,
he wanted to turn around and put that same mod in another game, he couldn't do it because that mod is now
official.
property of Bethesda. It's literally
It's a
there's
scam.
it is. It really is. What they should do is take a lesson from some of the open source communities. Okay, a lot of the open source communities have something called bounty programs and stuff like that, and they get paid. Let's just say you really want this mod. Okay, you
Like,
and say it don't exist. You can go up there and say on a let's say a bulletin board or something and say, hey, look, I want this mod. Okay, this is what I really really want. I'll give you $20, and then everybody say, oh, I want that mod too. I'll give him another $20. And after a
yeah, that's
while,
something on the Nexus. What they do is they have a forums on Nexus where someone asks or posts about a certain mod. Like someone handmade the Halo Anniversary Master Chief Power Armor, but it's not power armor; it's just regular apparel. But they remade his armor, handmade, mesh texture, everything, and it's on the Nexus for free. And they did the same thing with the Hellfire Power Armor, which is on the Bethesda Creation Club. So the Creation Club has an iteration of the Hellfire Power Armor, but so does the Nexus. But the thing is, there's two major differences. The Nexus version has, funny thing is, it has higher quality and it has more customization. But however, on Bethesda's end, you only have paint jobs and just the regular power armor uh, customization. But that's the funny thing. More people are getting the Nexus one, the free one, and they don't have to pay for it. But the funny thing is, in spite of Bethesda's Creation Club, all the hate for it, everyone is donating to the Hellfire Power Armor as a rant to Bethesda's Creation Club. And it's funny because who wants to spend $4 on a piece of power armor when you can get it for free on the Nexus?
oh, I agree. And not to mention, when you're going to spend $4, the a creator will probably only get a few cents of that in the first place.
Yeah, he's
You
not even
know,
getting paid for it.
yeah. So really, uh, there's a version of Linux out there called Solus. They're remaking their um, uh, app store, essentially, is what you want to call it. That they
Okay.
have, and one of the features that they actually have is the donation process. Okay, and where when you click on an app, it pops up and goes, would you like to donate to this? And if you want to install it, you can set that to 0 and still get it for free. But if you just wanted to throw $1 at them, you
You
can turn
can.
around and set the dollar, hit the button, it automatically charges, it sends it off, and
It goes to the
it
creator.
goes straight to the creator.
That's the point.
Exactly.
That's what Nexus does too. Right when it says
Does it
right when
that?
it yeah, right when you go to Nexus, you go to download the mod like Enhanced Lights and FX, the mod that you're seeing right now with all the lights, how it's
Right.
only streaming up at the lights and you can look down the hallway and it's dark because there's no light bulbs or anything there, only on the sides. See, like right there, you see the lights on the bottom?
Yep.
Okay. So let's say I wanted to download Lights and FX. It would say donate, and then you could leave the bar blank, but it'll say continue with my download. You can click continue with my download, or you can click the donate, and then it'll have a bar where you can put how much money you're wanting to donate, and it goes straight to the creator of that mod.
Now let me ask you, for anybody who's never used a Nexus before, or somebody like me who's never used it as well, can you tie your credit card or PayPal account or whatever into it,
Yes.
and then it just stays there? So anytime you download a mod, if you want to go ahead and chip in, you just hit a button and it's done, and you just keep on going.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
do that.
Okay, because one of the biggest problems that I've seen before, especially again in the open source community or whatever, is that the ability to uh, donate becomes such a cumbersome process that people just don't want to do it. If it takes me more than 15 seconds to
Get
donate some money, it's got to be a pretty damn good mod in order for me to chip in, because it's taking my time up, and unless it's something that I really love, I'm not going to chip in. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. I'm not going to sit there and spend 5 minutes trying to give this guy some money. But if I can just
yeah,
hit a button and say, hey, just send it to him, I'll do it. No problem at all.
yeah. Like if you let's say if you wanted to send him like a couple bucks and man, this is a great mod. I appreciate what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Like let's say someone made like I thought the Creation Club would have like I know it's the very beginning. It's it's not the cream of the crop, as Randy Savage would say, but it's the but I was expecting like DLC mods such as Nuka World and Far Harbor because I was a little let down by the mods you can just regularly get from the Creation Club, like really just a workshop pack mid-century. That's something you can easily find on the Nexus. And there's one mod that was just really stuck out to me on the Creation Club, and it really didn't bother me that much, but it's the one thing that sticks out. And this is if you're like into the concept art, and it's the homemade shotgun. It was it was meant to be in the game, but they cut it out. You know, those things I'm okay with. They're like what, $1, and that's it. But that's kind of okay because it's cut content. Didn't make it to the release, so that's fine. But when you put overpriced mods into the Creation Club, and the funny thing is, Pete Hines and Todd Howard specifically said on Twitter, these are not mods, these are DLCs. But if you analyze them, they're just like mods. There's no difference. They're just lying to get more money into their pocket. And now they're doing it with modders. They're trying to take advantage of the modding community.
Okay, so let me stop you real quick because that flagged a question for me.
Okay.
What would you consider the difference between a mod and a DLC? Is it the size of the mod?
Nope.
Is it the quality of the mod?
Nope.
What's the difference? What would
Okay.
I mean, because really, if you think about it, let's just say, Fallout with the Fall 88, I believe it is, which has got the that's a mod.
That's a DLC. Vault 88 is a DLC. Okay.
But it comes under the mods though, right? It comes under the mod section.
No, it doesn't come under mod section. Here, I'll put an example out there for you. So you have Far Harbor, and then you have a DLC sized mod such as let's say Dr. Nix kill 500 ways to die Dr. Nix. Okay? Let's say there's no difference. The only difference is one says modified and the other one's made by developers of the game. That's it. Mods are made by the community, which still have bugs, but they're still under, work in progress. They're still being edited, they're still being fixed, they're still being patched.
Okay. So what you're saying is
DLCs,
if Bethesda puts it out,
it's a DLC.
It's a DLC. If the community puts it out,
it's a mod.
It's a mod.
Yes, that's it. Like I could probably release something as big as Far Harbor, but it's considered a mod because I don't work for that company. But if I was under Bethesda and I was, under their nick and cranny, that's a DLC. Which is it's kind of stupid how they would subsection the modding community, but that's how it is. Apparently, that's how it is and how it's going to be.
Part of me has no problem with the
Creation Club.
The Creation Club. Okay, in theory, it sounds good, but I think the way Bethesda's going about it is completely wrong.
That's the thing I'm with right now too.
I mean, even in all honesty, if they wanted to reach out to individual mods and say, you know what, you got a fantastic mod, I want to buy it from you. Okay.
Yeah, like an internship.
That's fine. Okay.
But it can't be overpriced. You have to know the actual.
Well, then the question is, how much is that mod worth?
It honestly depends on the mod.
Well, I know that. But again, if I'm Bethesda and I approach you and I turn around and then come up and go, okay, you developed this mod. It's a fantastic mod. I want to buy it from you. Okay. I'll give you $1,000 for that mod, but I want to buy it. I want to integrate it into my game.
And it's mine forever.
And it's mine forever. Is that, I mean, that's essentially what they're doing.
It sounds good in theory, but here's the thing about that. They work full time there. They work with developers, they get a job. They have a chance of internship. It really depends on what mod they're buying from the people. Like let's say in the Creation Club, there's 4 Pip-Boy reskins that are, 50 cents, That's something someone can make on their own. Why should someone pay for that? But here's the thing. If someone's buying for a port from another game, like let's say I'm going to port something from Skyrim or Fallout 3, that's illegal. You can't port that on your own. But if Bethesda ported that over and charged it for the average dime, like let's say I ported over the XO2 power armor, okay, how much should that be worth? Well, in all honesty, power armor that should be at least $2. If it's a DLC mod, or should I say DLC sized mod that they're making, like Nuka World, Far Harbor, or Mothership Zeta, I don't mind. I wouldn't mind spending the $15 for that big of a mod.
Okay, yeah, but how about this? Okay, from all the rants that I've heard everybody saying, in the end, it comes down to money. Okay, they're basically saying they're screwing
Consumer.
the modders. Okay, they're giving the modders a little bit. They're making a crap load off the mod because they're selling Power Armor mod for $4, and
The
a
the
bunch
modder's
of
not even getting paid for it.
and the modder's not getting paid for, or he gets paid very little for compared to what it actually sold. Now, what if they did something differently? Let's just say the mod's free, but in order to become a part of the Creation Club, you pay a monthly service, you know, and then you get every mod that's in there for free.
Yeah.
Then would that be more of an acceptable scenario? Because then you're paying a monthly fee, and in the end, they're probably going to end up making more off you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see any problem with it. I honestly see that being
Would
a better approach.
I think it would be. If you want to use my service, if you want to use my mods, you pay a monthly service,
And you get them for
and then
free.
you get them all for free. You know.
But paying paying in a DLC size pack, like let's say you get 4 mods of any choice for such and such dollar. That would be fine too. Like a multi-release pack. It's like a bundle. You pay for a bundle, and then you get such and such mods, all for one price. Like I spend $20, I get 4 Pip-Boy reskins, a power armor, a quest, and a regular suit of apparel. That would be pretty cool too. But stuff like that where you just put a piece of power armor for like half of $10 and not paying the modder. And I really wish the modder would be paid for it too, because I'm starting to get to know some modders like Fading Signal and Eleonora, and I read in their forums and their posts, and they're pretty cool modders. They make some of the cool workshop settlement mods and the home settlement areas too, where you have a more customized home, and they do some great work. But they get paid more on the Nexus by donations than they will by the Creation Club.
Is that what all the modders are saying? Is that
That's what you can read in the posts. You can read it even in the Creation Club comments. You can even go on the Creation Club right now, and by the first 4 pages, you can just see nothing but rants. There's like the occasional good comment of saying, "Oh, it's just the first batch. They'll get better." Well, the thing is, here's the thing. There's only 4,000 polys. Someone released 4,000 polys of the size. So it's 4,000, let's say I think it's 4,000 megs.
okay
of
for
how big it
somebody
is.
for somebody who don't know, like myself? What's a poly?
Okay, that's the size, like kilobytes. Polys
Oh,
are kilobytes.
okay.
So it's 4,000 it's 4 megs. That's how big their mods are going to be. And it's kind of sad because right now, from what it seems, it doesn't seem like the Creation Club is going to be able to release a DLC.
Okay,
It's just
so
going to
now,
be reselling Pip-Boy skins, weapons, and just armor.
so if I buy something from the Creation Club, being that it's coming through Bethesda and coming through from the Creation Club and stuff, are they going to guarantee me that the mod is going to work properly?
That's what the Creation Club is for too. They're supposed to be guaranteed bug-free mods.
Okay.
That's pretty much what they are. Pete Hines specifically says they're bug-free, and if you pay for them, they won't affect you not earning achievements. So that's the thing for console gamers. Console gamers can actually earn achievements now. They don't have to, if they pay for mods, they can earn achievements.
Okay, this whole achievement thing, I do not
Care.
understand. Yeah, well, that's it too. No, I just don't understand. I could care less about an achievement. You know, if I'm playing a game, but you know, you get this on the Xbox all the time where you're playing a game and you get an achievement for something completely off the wall and stupid, like,
You
oh,
reach level 30.
I no,
There you go.
or better yet, you know, you built or you 3,000 objects or some crap. You know, eh, who cares? I mean, it's not like people are going to be sitting there looking at it going, "Oh wow, he built 3,000
3,000
objects,"
objects.
or
Yeah.
he played the game for 24 hours. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
that's ridiculous. That's what I don't understand. But
unless
that's
you're having,
Bethesda's main pitch about it too. You can
unless,
earn achievements, they're bug free, and they're DLC sized. But they're
but
not DLC sized.
but
They're
if
4
you're
megs.
if unless you're having some type of contest where the achievement actually means something, then it's pointless.
Yeah. And it's ridiculous. It it honestly is ridiculous. Like this right here, the little suit right here, someone on Reddit decided, well, since everyone has to pay for these, I'll just buy them all and release them for everyone for free. But here's the thing. They're or ESL files, which is Creation Club files. You just rename them as ESM, which is a master file, like a DLC size, which is you have Far Harbor Workshop 1, which is the I think it's the Vault Workshop, and then you have Nuka World, and then you have the other two workshop mods, which is the construction, and then you have the robot. Those are ESMs. Regular mods, like by the community, that's ESPs or unofficial patches, and vice versa.
Yeah, but I'm sure that they're going to eventually put some type of key or something in there to lock people out from doing that. It's probably still going to be the same file, but they're gonna probably have a patch that's going to come out and it's going to look into the file. If that key is there, then it'll work. If that key is not there, it ain't going to work. And they're going to force everybody to update for some reason. And I'm sure all doing stuff like that is not going to work anymore.
Yeah, but you're gonna find out that there's gonna be that one programmer who's gonna finally find a way to get through it and release it to everybody.
Oh, of course. I mean, there's always been a battle between,
Oh yeah,
corporations and hackers and modders and stuff. You know, they're going to always find ways around it, but that means that they're always going to have to be trying to find ways around it.
oh yeah. On Reddit, there's a forum called mod Piracy, and it's just leaked everywhere. It's just spreading like a wildfire. It's even on the Steam forums now, and it's ridiculous. And I
So
feel
what?
bad for
What?
Bethesda in a way too, because they're losing an investment on this. But then again, in hindsight, they should have paid attention from their first iteration of this Creation Club and learned from it. But instead, they decided we'll just give it a little time. People will forget, and then we'll release it, and we'll try to rip off the modding community, and it's not gonna work. It and it's all about buying the Kool-Aid. It doesn't matter how sweet it is. Don't buy the Kool-Aid. That's pretty much what this Creation Club is. I mean, hell, there's I think it was Left 4 Dead 2. You buy the game for $15, you get all the DLC free. You go on console, the 360 or the PS3, you buy it and you have to buy the DLCs individually. $15 a DLC. And there's 4 DLC 60, so you have another 15, 60, so you're spending $75 on the consoles, but you can go on the PC and spend $15 on the game and you get everything. It's ridiculous.
But you know what? Though, it's like that for everything. I was trying to install Plex the other day, and I was going to install it on the console, and
Yeah,
guess what? They wanted me to pay for it. Where everywhere else, this damn client is free. But on the console, you're going to have to pay for it.
I know. There, it's 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 ridiculous. I don't know what's going on with this, and
It's all about money because what's going on is I'm sure, and I haven't looked into this, so I may be completely wrong, but I'm sure in order for them to be able to get it into the, let's say, Xbox, Microsoft App Store, in order for them to be able to download it, they probably have to pay Microsoft or something of that nature, or pay them a certification fee or something so they can certify it, and that's probably costing them money. So it's all about follow the dollar.
Yeah.
Follow the dollar. You'll figure out why all our crap is shit. Okay? These games could be so much better if people would actually focus more on the game
Than the
than
microtransactions and everything
than the
else.
microtransactions and everything
And
else.
that brings up my second point. Microtransactions are now becoming a business standard. You can go on Minecraft and there are microtransactions. Of all games, Minecraft has microtransaction system. And now if this keeps going, it's going to be a business standard. I mean, it's already in Halo, it's in Call of Duty. It's now being imported into Bethesda's systems or Bethesda's titles. And if everyone keeps buying into it, which most people are probably going to, which is unfortunate, it's going to become a business standard. And there's nothing we can do.
Well, people were buying into it because they don't have a choice. Okay. They turn around and let's just say they played Minecraft for years. Okay. And then all of a sudden they found that
Microtransactions come in.
they find out that they can turn around and purchase something within the game with this microtransaction that that they think is going to be really cool. They're going to use it and they're going to spend the money on it. And as long as people spend the money on it, the companies are going to see that that's a profitable line and they're going to integrate it into their systems.
Yeah. And it's just there's just it's they make the game and if you can't get it through a microtransaction, like let's say you don't want to spend the money, they make your life a living hell just to try to earn it. You could spend, let's say, 24 hours straight game time trying to earn a certain weapon, and they make that a hell of a grind just to get it. And you probably still won't be able to get it, but they make it where you can just spend this dollar and it's just super easy, and it'll just get directly deposited into your inventory.
And that's my biggest problem right there too, is especially like with these phone gaming, there's games on these little
Oh
games
yeah,
on the
these
phones
little
and stuff like that,
where they say
and they're
it's
all these
free.
pay to play games. And the problem is you try to play the game, like I try to play the Call of Duty game on the phone. Okay.
And they
It
make
was
it
actually enjoyable for the first couple of levels, and then they got it to the point where you were not going to
advanced.
upgrade without giving them money. And then at that point it's no fun to play anymore, because at this point I'm so frustrated. I'm not going to give them no money just so I can continue playing the game. I mean, I don't mind buying the game outright, okay, but I shouldn't have to keep paying to play the game. I want to buy it. Charge me $100 for the damn game. If it's a good enough game, I'll buy it. But I don't want to sit here and keep pumping dollars into it just to get to the next level.
I know what you mean. All right. Well, this wraps it up. So this was Grumpy Old Man here, Atomic Annihilation as well, and hope you see you guys all in the next one.
Y'all have a good one.